welcome to Tales from the Riff. And
Yeah, thank you.
so I appreciate. How do you pronounce your the project name?
So it's pronounced Aargon,
Mm-hmm.
but most people in like I'm from Canada, so everybody just says Argon or something like that.
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. So it's Argon or Oregon. It's doesn't really matter to me.
So how long have you been playing music?
Geesh, I've been playing music for on like as long as I can remember. My parents, they put me in a lot of like youth music programs and stuff like that, and played a lot of music, different styles of music and stuff. And I'd say I really started playing music, and it's a hard one. Maybe when I was about eight, nine ish around that, I started with bass guitar actually.
So what were some of the heavy hitters that you were listening to that inspired you to play bass?
Oh man. So my dad, he's a super big metal guy, or he was, not too much anymore, but he listened to a lot of like, the Metallica, Iron Maiden, a lot of grunge bands too, like Pearl Jam
Mm-hmm.
and all those guys. But I'd say for me, I like my favorites were Iron Maiden and Metallica, 100%.
Oh yeah, dude, I love me some Iron Maiden. In fact, I was just telling one of my friends not too long ago that I was able to see them back in 2019 when they had the Legacy of the Beast tour, and man,
yeah.
it was such a sick performance.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to see them, but hopefully when they come to my city next, I'll be out there.
And, I never asked you, which part of Canada are you from?
I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, the area ish. Like not in Ottawa. I'm in a little town south of it, but in that area.
How's the weather up there right now?
Right now, it's been pretty bipolar lately. Like there have been some days where it's been really, really cold, and some other days where it's been scorching hot.
Yeah.
But right now, it's pretty nice outside.
Yeah, we in Louisiana, we know, like right now, we just know scorching hot and monsoons. That's all we got.
Yeah,
But
that sounds horrible.
yeah, but that just comes with the territory, I suppose. So, man, I guess I just want to get into it, man. Like, what exactly, drives a kid from, listening from the likes of Iron Maiden and things of that nature to like having his own black metal project?
Yeah, that's a good question. So actually, yeah, so for a while, like I would only stick to Metallica, Metallica, Iron Maiden, and Slipknot. Those were like pretty much my big three. And then for a while, I went through a little phase where like about like I'd say a year, I went through a phase where I listened to no metal at all. I couldn't stand it for
Really?
some reason or another, and I was listening to a lot of rap then.
Uh-huh.
So, and then my friend, his name's Nathan, and he got me back into metal with Slipknot and stuff like that. He just showed me a bunch of like stuff they were putting out. Because I only listened to one Slipknot song before that, and he showed me like a lot of their other stuff, and that kind of launched me back into metal. And I'm trying to think about how I got into more like extreme metal. I know I started exploring a little bit into like Lamb of God, Trivium, a lot of metalcore bands like that. And then I remember, I don't know if it was on Discord or Reddit or something, but I found out about Mayhem. So yeah, found out about Mayhem, watched a YouTube video on their story, and I'm like, oh, this is the most metal thing I've ever seen. Like, oh my God. And then I'd say it just kind of grew from there, started listening to Mayhem, Dark Throne, Bathory, all those guys. And then I just kind of went and I never stopped. I'd say somebody else who I discovered right after Mayhem was Aargon.
Yeah.
I have a flag back there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
Yeah, I love them. Definitely one of my big influences. I just never heard anything like them. So they definitely were massive inspiration.
What was some of the things that you kind of connected with, like hearing extreme music for the first time? Like, what was some of the elements that really like this just pulled you in?
So I'd say because the absolute first, like I'd say like black metal song I ever heard was "Freezing Moon" by Mayhem. And the thing that really drew me in was the intro. I love that intro. It was like one of the most evil things I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's one of the coldest freaking intros I've ever heard, still to this day. I mean, you know, just the only thing colder I could think of is probably, oh God, it's off of Panzerfaust. Dark Throne album, Quintessence. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite tracks too. And man, it just that like Fenrir says, it's like Steely Dan. It's steelized Dan. It's folk music, but just with like the most evil shit attached to it.
Yeah, Dark Throne's amazing. I love them. But yeah, I'd say as for like what drew me in, like I said, I've like always liked those really heavy evil riffs like that. But the catch is, so when I listened to that song for the first time, as soon as the blast beat kicked in, I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, what is this? It's not even a real drum beat.
It's not even audible.
Yeah, exactly. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just kept listening to it, and then it just started to grow on me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, you know, whenever I discovered black metal, it was like 95, 96. I mean, the internet was just became a thing in households, if you can imagine. And you know, I was looking for all kind of music, and I was like in chat rooms that would send me on these rabbit holes. It's like, oh, if you're into extreme music, you gotta check this and out. Check that ain't heavy. Check this shit that's going out, you know, that's coming out of Norway right now. And I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, I just got my mind utterly blown, you know, on AOL chat. It was awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that stuff's awesome. Yeah, I've gone through too many rabbit holes when it comes to metal.
Man. Oh yeah. So you just jump on YouTube and just like 100%. Anything else. I mean, you know. But so have you primarily played black metal by yourself, or do you ever jumped in a band?
So the metal scene in Ottawa right now is it's pretty tiny. There's I think there's two other bands with people my age, which is who I've pulled from to play live with me. So there's another band, a death metal band called Corpse Pit.
Yep.
And so old school death metal pretty much. And then there's a black metal band in the area called Mesothelioma. So yeah. So I have the drummer of Corpse Pit, and the bassist and the guitarist from Meso. So they've been playing with me live for some shows that I may have coming up. There's one 100% in October, maybe one like late August. I'm not too sure about that one yet, but yeah. But like as for writing music, it's all been me pretty much.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, you could definitely tell you're a real student of the game, because those demos that you sent me, I mean, they're killer, dude. Like,
thank you.
I was like, man, I really like it. And I guess so was Mayhem like pretty much the main influences for those demos that you sent? Or
I'd say a lot of the influences for the ones my demo that I released on Spotify, definitely a lot of Immortal in there, and Dark Throne, not too much Mayhem, and a lot of Dissection. Actually, I'm a huge Dissection fan.
You know, I didn't want to say it, but like, dude, like your vocals remind me so much of Dissection. Like they really do. You. So
that's a compliment.
You know, dude. Kudos to you, man. It sounded really good, and there's not a whole lot of people that could pull off. You know, I mean, it's you know, shrills are freaking hard to pull off, man, and you know, but you're one of the fortunate ones that got it down. So
thank you.
Hell yeah,
thank you. Yeah, trying to work on my vocal technique. I'm trying to get more of how do I say it? I listen to a lot of other genres other than like black metal. Like I listen to a lot of deathcore actually. So I'm trying to get a really like aggressive kind of I don't know, kind of like Lorna Shore, like that Lorna Shore stuff, man.
Yeah, Lorna Shore is definitely one of the more popular bands in deathcore for sure. And
Yeah.
I have a lot of young friends that are definitely turning me on to them. And I heard a few songs by them. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm probably way older than you, but I'm just kind of stuck in my roots of like Sabbath, Dark Throne, and you mentioned Immortal as well.
Yeah.
Dissection. I mean, I stay to that pretty much, but I'm always open and willing to hear something out. If it's it's a ripper, I'll fucking listen to it. It's
Yeah.
just
Fair enough. Fair
no
enough.
around it. And Louisiana, man, like where I'm from in South Louisiana, we're very fortunate to have like a really good base of black metal bands. And like one of my
Yeah.
good friends, uh, Sean from Writhings, man, he got this Blackened D beat group that if you haven't heard of Writhings before, check them out.
Yeah. Well.
Me and Sean do an episode of he presents all his influence from music that he brings into his own band, and dude, it's fucking amazing. But
Yeah. That's
yeah,
awesome.
but New Orleans has a lot of good black metal bands as well. That's coming up, and man, so black metal is definitely in the water over here.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. US has some amazing black metal bands like that are coming up, like the Holder, Panopticon, like a lot of those
And
guys.
Goat Whore, the guys in Goat Whore, holy shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're crazy.
So what I see you have some toys in the back over there. Like
I do.
what are you playing back there, man? What's
So I can kind of angle
oh,
it
there you
down a
go.
bit. So on the right, that white guitar over there,
Uh-huh.
that is a Jim Root Telecaster.
All right.
Got it when I was heavy into Slipknot. And in the beside that, it
Yep.
might be hard to see. The black one, Black Jackson. It's an 8 string actually.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I got it actually because of Toast Nabasi from Animals as Leaders and
Right,
stuff like
right.
that. Yeah, and then I have another Jackson with passive pickups. That's probably I play that one the most, I'd say. And then on the far left
It's your
is
bass.
Squire bass. Yep, yeah, yeah.
Man,
Which is the bass I actually started off with, and I lent it to my friend a while ago because he's like, oh, I really want to learn bass. And I said, oh, I don't play it. But then I asked for it back because I had to record bass.
So I'm a Jackson fan myself, and I have a pro soloist, and man, I don't know what it is about that guitar. I keep going back to it. Even though I keep buying more guitars, I still go back to that pro soloist, man. That 25.5-inch scale is just perfect for me.
Yeah, yeah, I love Jackson. They're probably, I'd say, even though I don't currently own an Ibanez, I'd say Ibanez are probably my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I used to have an RG,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what it is about Ibanez. I just really like them, and I'm looking into a Prestige in the future, just because it with Fishman pickups, because it's a really nice guitar.
Yeah, yeah, man. I got a Schecter Evo Twin
Oh yeah,
with the Fishman pickups. I'm actually in the market of selling if you're interested. I'm just saying.
oh yeah, I love Schecters actually.
Oh,
Schecters,
me too.
I like the build quality is amazing.
Oh yeah, the best bang for your buck for sure.
100%.
Yeah. So what are I remember you telling me while we were chatting that you actually have some new material that you're working on right now. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I have a lot of new material currently pretty much done. I just have to get it mixed and yeah, so I just have to get it mixed. I have an album that's going to come out. I haven't officially announced it yet, but
You just did.
yeah, yeah, I just did pretty much. I've teased it on my Instagram a little bit, and but yeah, so yeah, there will be an album coming out, and I think it totals in at around 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Much different than the demo, different mix. It's more how do I describe it? It's more gritty, but it's not as raw. I'd say it's kind of like if you got a mix of Dimmu Borgir and put reverb on it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of the sound I'm going for with the album. And it's a concept album too, so it follows a story.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So
does all your albums follow like same thematic elements or like a concept?
So I'd say I stick to the fantasy theme 100%.
Okay.
I love fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd say it kind of sticks to the same. It's all like the same fantasy element, kind of.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind my asking, I mean, since a lot of people has not heard of Aargon, or I hate to say it like that.
Yeah, no worries.
What can you tell us if you want to divulge into it? What are some of the fantastical and fantasy lyrics that you pour into as far as the work's concerned?
So like I definitely like draw a lot of inspiration from like the Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim and stuff like that, and The Witcher and Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, a lot of that stuff. And with all my songs, I aim to kind of like, I want all the guitars and like all of the drums and everything to kind of follow like every point in the story, if that makes sense. Kind of like, if something intense is happening in the lyrics, then there's probably going to be a blast beat and a fast like guitar part.
That makes sense.
And if somebody's like walking or near a campfire or something and it's calm, then it's probably going to be slower and melodic kind of. And I'd say that's where Aargon has influenced me a lot, because their stories are just beautiful. Like it just flows together amazing.
Hell yeah, dude. You can't go wrong with that type of delivery as far as the content's concerned. Because I mean, it has worked, time and time again with a lot of black metal bands. I mean, Bursum comes to mind. I mean, he based a lot of whenever he wasn't talking about nationalism and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
He was getting more and more into like the world of Tolkien. And things of that nature. So, shit, yeah, I'm all about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't drawn too much from the Lord of the Rings world. I know a lot of black metal bands do.
Yeah.
Like, first thing that comes to mind is Gorgoroth, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or like even Amon Amarth, like their name, I'm pretty sure means Mount Doom or something.
Yeah.
So, I haven't really drawn from the world of Tolkien.
So what are some things that's currently on your playlist as of now?
Like other bands and stuff?
Right, yeah.
Good question. So I'd say top of my head, a lot of Dissection, probably the entire Storm of the Light's Bane album.
That's a really good album, man.
It's an amazing album. A lot of them, like I said, some Dark Throne. Actually, I listen to Eternal Hails a lot. I really like their most recent album.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, exactly. I love like the doomy stuff like that they're doing. Let me think. I listen to a lot of prog, like Dream Theater, Animals as Leaders, and listen to a lot of Polyphia, actually.
Really?
Yeah, a ton. I really love them. I'd say I'm actually learning Playing God on guitar right now. But Polyphia, they're insanely catchy, super good. I'm trying to think what else. Those are probably the main people who I'm currently listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously like Aargon.
As a musician and as a writer, do you draw more inspiration like writing music whenever you're like in a certain mood? Like if you're angry, you got to get some shit out on paper or on the guitar or wherever. Or you like, or if you're in a really good mood, you're like, you know what, man, fuck, I got this riff, I need to just get out.
I'd say more so when I'm in a really good mood. That's
Yeah.
when my inspiration comes to mind. It's just where I'm most optimistic about things, and that works the best for me. But I've discovered when I'm writing music, like it's a long process, and like 90% of the time, what happens is I'll like plateau and I won't be able to write anything. And
Yeah.
then one day I'll just go up and like crank out a whole song, and then I'm back to that plateau for a while. It's a very interesting process, and it's not how I thought how it would go.
Yeah. So, like, what is like your immediate environment like? You know, like is like your parents fully supportive of your black metal projects, and friends kind of like, hey, man, I mean, like,
Yeah.
do people like kind of look at you like,
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate that my parents are fully supportive of my music and
hell yeah,
stuff. So I'm really fortunate with that and happy that they support me. A lot of my friends, they're also pretty happy for me, especially the all my friends who like metal, because yeah. But and a lot of my other friends just say like, oh, cool. But I'd say everybody's pretty supportive, which I'm really happy about.
go Canada.
Yeah,
I don't think. Did you hear the soundbite?
I didn't
No,
hear
okay,
it.
all right. It's just on my end. I got a whole slew of little sound bites that I play from time to time just to keep myself entertained.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, dude, that's great. You got that amazing support, man. Because I know some parents would be like, be so afraid if their kid was like full blown Satanist in their house, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how I grew up. My mom wouldn't let me buy my first Slayer shirt because it had a
Oh,
because it had a pentagram on the back
yeah,
and all that shit. Different times then.
yeah,
Now it's really more acceptable. Parents are like, yeah, whatever, do what you gotta do. Fucking,
yeah.
just have a full blown human sacrifice in the basement. It's good.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's all good.
So,
Yeah.
what's life in Ottawa, man? Like, what's I mean, I'm just curious to know what Canada's like. I've never been there.
Well, it's can't say there's too much happening in Ottawa, especially compared to the cities like Montreal and Toronto. That's where a lot of stuff happens. But Ottawa's a nice little city. I don't go there too often,
Mm-hmm.
but I mostly stick to my little town here, which I'm kind of like very close to the middle of town. So me and my friends will walk out and get food a lot of the times. There's stuff like that. But I can't complain. The weather's decent,
Is the
and
like as
yeah.
far as like metal shows going to your town? Are y'all able to catch a good rash of like straight up extreme metal shows?
Now that's where I get kind of angry because a lot of the bands they go from Montreal to Toronto, and 90% of the time they'll skip over Ottawa.
Oh shit.
Um, but sometimes we'll get some good bands. Like Suffocation came a little while ago,
Mm-hmm.
and my first extreme metal show I saw Obscura. That
Yeah.
was amazing. And my friends in Corpse Pit, they're opening up for Dying Fetus soon,
Oh damn.
so that's super exciting for
Yeah, it
them.
is.
And yeah. But I'd say yeah, that's about it. Like I said, a lot of bands skip over Ottawa. Like I know Amon Amarth and Obituary and Carcass, they're skipping over Ottawa, which I'm bummed about. But yeah, I know Dream Theater was supposed to come a while ago, but they canceled, which sucks. But
Mm-hmm. Wasn't Dream
yeah,
Theater
yeah.
from Canada?
Pardon?
Where is Dream Theater from? Are they from Canada? I don't know too much about
I
Dream Theater.
don't I don't think so. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know where they're from.
Let's fact check that.
Yeah. I think they're from the U.S. somewhere.
Well, because I thought their drummer is like huge Rush fan, and rightfully so. Uh, info. Because I mean I know the only thing I know about Dream Theater is that John Petrucci is like one hell of a freaking guitar player.
Oh, he's
and
wild.
I mean, he's just ridiculous, dude. He's like God level guitar player, and he he has the Music Man endorsement and all that stuff, and he has his own guitar. But I don't know too much about him other than that. I know Ola England is like, just American progressive band. I'll be damned.
Yeah. I know John Petrucci and John Myung, the bassist. I know they went to Berkeley, so
from New York. And
New York. Yeah. But John Petrucci, he's crazy good. He's another one of my huge guitar influences next to like Tim Henson and Toast Nabasi. I look up to a lot of those prog guys when it comes to guitar, just because like they all bring something new, and it's just cool to see like them bringing something completely new to metal. And
their technique is second to none, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah, I just find them all really inspirational players for sure,
and rightfully so. I mean, I'm more of a caveman type. I guess I've only been playing now. It's probably 3 years I've been playing guitar. And in fact, it was the caveman riffs that I heard from Dark Throne that inspired me to play. And it's like, I would love to like be, like just throw down on some arpeggios and just and sweep pick and all that stuff. And maybe that's going to come with more practice, but man, I'm in that phase where it's just like, give me 2 to 4, just barbarian riffs, and I'll roll with that.
Oh yeah. Like I play tons of like black metal and stuff like that. Like I can't go wrong with a good riff. Like especially, I'd say probably my favorite band to play is Dissection, because their riffs are just crazy catchy, crazy fun. But the Emperor is super fun to play too. Like I always love some good riffing.
Yeah, Dissection, man. They in fact, some of their songs even like have like some like jazz bits in them. It's like it's not too often that you hear a black metal band that like just go into like a full on jazz sequence.
Yeah, exactly. And like even Death on like Sound of Perseverance and stuff like that. There's a lot of jazzy stuff in there.
That and I mean, when he had Sean and Paul from Cynic on Human, I mean, that entire album, dude, is just it stands out for a reason, because like he was on a different level with those cats. I mean, they were all inspired by jazz and progressive music and whatnot. And Cynic, dude, they never strayed away from that. They continue on that path. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Death is crazy. I love Death so like they're awesome. I think he was a genius. 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm always listening to that. I mean, Death's discography is just on loop, man. Over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the Human album.
I recently watched the Death by Metal documentary. Actually,
yeah, it's such a good movie, right?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Very, very, very insightful and telling of the way Chuck worked.
Yeah. It was really cool just to see like how he got from Scream Bloody Gore to like Sound of Perseverance and stuff like that, and like because I think they sold out all of their records when they for Scream Bloody Gore. Like, right when it came out at their local record store. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And did you ever see what's it called? I think Beyond the Light Takes. Wait.
Oh, Before the Light Takes Us.
Yeah.
I was on that shit when it first came out. I remember seeing that trailer whenever it came out on YouTube, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna watch this movie, but I will watch it. And
yeah,
I was real fortunate to find it online. I streamed it. I think it might have been through YouTube actually, and I was able to stream it that way. And since then, I mean, I've watched it hundreds of times. I mean, just if I got nothing better to do, and if I'm in a mood for like a documentary, I always go back to that.
Oh yeah. I thought that was super entertaining, honestly, and it was pretty well done too. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, all the stories and stuff were really neat. And another thing, I don't really, I think people hate on Lords of Chaos too much. I know it's like one of those, I know it's like one of those movies that everybody's like, oh, it's inaccurate and blah blah. But you know what? Give it a like, take it or leave it. You know, it was entertaining.
It was, and that
Yeah.
that was Jonas Ackerland's point. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, from the jump, you know, in the movie's disclosure, it said this film is based on truth and lies.
Yeah.
You know, and it's purely for the sake of entertainment, like you said. I mean, you know, he wanted to touch on the legend of Mayhem and some of the facts revolving around the band and the ultimate demise of Euronymous and
Yeah.
the relationship he had with Varg, and but I enjoyed it. You know, I just took it for what it's worth. You know, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I didn't watch it to like expect to get the entire story, and
No.
and he even said it at the start that it was based off lies, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the cool things though was that I got tattooed by Yannicka Hansen, who she did all the artwork and cover art for Immortal, Enslaved.
Oh, really?
And she did the actual the first Bursum album art.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got tattooed
sick.
by her, and she was like talking about the entire scene, because you know I went there for Infernal Festival last year, and and she was just like a wealth of knowledge, man, that I did not expect to gain all kind of insight. I mean, it was like, you know, she was there from the very beginning. I mean, she was allowing some of the, you mentioned Emperor. She allowed the guys from Emperor to stay with her in her house while they recorded an album. I think it was their first album, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She was telling me all that, man, and like to hear Yannicka talk about being on the witness stand and testifying against Varg for Uranus's trial. I mean, that gave me goosebumps. I was like, holy shit. It's like,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's like everything that I watched or heard about or read about, it was just coming full circle. And like, I'm face to face with someone who had firsthand account knowledge of the situation.
Yeah.
It was great. It was
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because there's so much history with that stuff. Like, there's just so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then if you haven't gone to Norway and you plan on doing it, I highly recommend you going.
Oh yeah, I plan on going there actually. After I'm done school, I think I might go there for university or something like that.
Really?
Because I've heard a lot of good things about the school system there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know as far as Americans are concerned, like I felt so much like an idiot being out there, because I mean the cab drivers, the concierge, everyone spoke at least 3 different languages.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like, dude, like where did our education system fail us? You know,
Yeah,
as far as us being an American.
Yeah. I've heard that they're pretty, like, they're really well educated there, and they speak a ton of languages, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
we went to, my wife and I went to Denmark, and like I hear the concierge just talking in German, Danish, Spanish, and English. It's like she just turned on a switch like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like sound American as me. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's wild.
Never did I feel so stupid.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Europe's a beautiful place.
It is,
like,
man.
I really want to travel eventually, and like I said, Norway's pretty high up there on the list, especially just to, you know, tour, look at go to all the stave churches. Like, those things are really, really like gorgeous. And obviously go to Neseblood Records.
Yep. Been there.
Yeah. Oh really? Oh yeah, I think I saw that picture of you in the basement.
Oh yeah. that
Yeah,
was
that's it.
another surreal experience, man. I was like, dude, it's like I always want to come here, and now I'm here. And I was just like, this is, I mean, some people want to visit Grand Canyon and see something majestic, and I was like, I just want to go see, be in the basement of Helvete, and there, it was like being there was just, it was like, wow.
Screw the Eiffel Tower. I want to
Yeah,
be in the
exactly.
basement.
Yeah, yeah. If I want to experience Paris, all I gotta do is just go to New Orleans right there, man. It's all I heard from is Paris is beautiful and everything. It's just a cleaner New Orleans.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, Norway, amazing place.
So, what was the last show you saw?
Last show I saw Slipknot actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I think it was in May. It was May 28th or 29th. They came to the Canadian Tire Center, which is like the big venue in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where all the huge bands play, and that was pretty cool. I went with my buddy, and actually the same one that got me back into Slipknot, Nathan, because he's like an uber Slipknot fan. He's like, Chris, we have to go to this. Like as soon as it was announced months before, and I was just like, all right, sweet. So yeah, it was really nice. We had good seats. I do wish we were on the floor though. Once I got there, I was like, floor would be awesome.
Right.
So we debated getting floor tickets, but then we saw the price and we were like, nope.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Corey Taylor and company, they got to make their money, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Good friend of mine. We went to see Slipknot, Behemoth, Volbeat. They were all playing the Knot Fest in Houston, Texas, and that was a pretty good show, I must say. I was very, very and Gojira played with them too. That
would have been sweet.
Yeah, it was a good show, man. I came away like, I never saw Behemoth or Gojira live, and I was like, damn, dude, I slept on these guys for too damn long.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the Slipknot show, like the mix was crazy good. It was really good. Like I could hear pretty much like everything really well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually funny, Cypress Hill opened up for them,
Whoa.
which I wasn't expecting. Yeah, I know. It was the weirdest thing. There was just Cypress Hill and then Slipknot. And Cypress Hill was crazy good too. They were awesome.
How high did you get? Tell me.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
did
good
not
for you.
Indulge.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. No, I did not.
That was a loaded question. You did good.
Yeah, no, oh my God, it was hilarious because the singer, like the main guy, one of them was missing. I don't follow Cypress Hill too much, so I apologize. I don't know their names.
Either.
But yeah, one of the singers, he had like the biggest blunt I have ever seen. It was huge. It was so funny. But and they had a live drummer too, which was really cool.
Yeah. I saw they do that.
Yeah.
And every now and then they'll have like a full band. Some of the performances I saw that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And they had like the trigger. They had a trigger on the kick, and it was programmed to play like an 808 whenever he hit it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool too. Yeah, it was just really, really well done.
Nice. So I like to ask this question to everyone that comes on this podcast, man.
Mm-hmm.
What are the 6 albums that you just cannot live without? Something that, I mean, the house is on fire. You about to start burning. What you taking with you?
That's a very good question. So I can say this is in no particular order.
Yeah, no particular
I
order.
couldn't rank these, but I'd say 100% Storm of the Light's Bane. That's just an essential.
That's an essential.
And Lamendam by Kerak Ongren, their debut album. That's my favorite from them. So 100% that one. Now, as for the rest, that is a very, very good question. I'm gonna have to go with I'd say Obscura's most recent album, A Valediction.
Okay.
Amazing album. Couldn't get enough of it. Transylvanian Hunger by Dark Throne.
Excellent choice.
Can't beat that one. Can't beat it. And as for the 2 last ones, geez, this is tough.
I know, right?
2 last albums. I'm gonna have to go with Bathory self-titled. Bathory self-titled, and one more. Emperor's Debut.
Emperor's Debut.
Yeah, Emperor's Debut.
Oh
The
yeah,
Night
dude.
Side
Oh,
Eclipse.
dude.
Yeah. Crazy album.
Fucking A, man. That's.
Oh yeah.
I love that 6. That's a very solid 6 right there.
Thank you.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. Now, what about you? What's your 6?
Oh shit, man. I just knew someone sooner or later was gonna ask me this again. And the focus is not on me though. You're the guest. Damn it. Okay, I'll play along. I'm gonna go, and this is no order, but this is I'm gonna go Dark Throne's Panzerfaust.
Good choice.
The riffs on that album are just fucking. It's a goddamn riff factory, and I know Fenris and Ted will be the first ones to say that we pretty much copied everything that we know from Tom G. Warrior, but they just cranked it up a few notches though, man.
Yeah, they did.
Let's see. After that, Slayer's Rain and Blood.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy album.
That album is just, it speaks for itself. It's just so damn good. And the guitar work, the solos are not the most complex and technical, but it's Slayer, dude. That's what they do.
Exactly.
Let's see. That's Human. That's got to be in there. My favorite song by them, Flattening of Emotions. I just can't live without that song. It's just, from top to bottom, you got Flattening, you got Together as One, Secret Planets. Fucking, it's so good. It's so damn good.
It's amazing.
Only because they have a shit ton of songs on it. It's kind of a it's kind of a cheap way to go, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going to go "We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll" by Black Sabbath because it has a shit ton of their songs on there. Because I can't pick one Sabbath record, but but if I had to pick a Sabbath record, it would be Volume 4.
That's a good choice.
Volume 4 is just where it's at for me. I always love that album, but I'll stick with we Sold Our Souls. So that's, see, we got Panzerfaust, Human, Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll. What am I missing? Did I hit 3 or 4?
I think you hit 5.
I had 5. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure. Wait, you had Slayer.
Slayer. Yes, I'm missing Slayer.
Slayer.
So I had Dark Throne, Slayer, Black Sabbath, and Death. So that's 4.
Oh yeah, 4. Yeah.
4. So 2 more. Damn.
It's hard. It's hard.
You know what? I'm gonna put my boys from Louisiana. I'm gonna put Acid Bat on there when the kite string pops. You ever heard of them?
That's a good choice. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Love that record. That one is pretty much that, in my opinion, that was like the one album that I discovered it back in 1983 when I was 13 years old. That's what got me into extreme metal, I'd say. It was just, I knew about thrash metal and all of that, but I don't know, man. Like when Kite String came out, it took my interest into everything extreme, like over the hump, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Definitely Kite String. So that's 5. And number 6, probably going to slow it down with ISIS's Oceanic. Because that's probably one album, dude, that like Personally, when I found out about that album, I was going through some personal hard times, and I could say that album like pulled me out of my shit. It really did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's my 6.
That's a solid list.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And so what are you looking forward to in the near future, man, besides some of your releases?
That's a good question. Well, I sold my electronic drum kit today, and I'm putting that money towards a new guitar. Thinking of debating between a nylon guitar, because I've recently fallen in love with classical music.
Yeah.
So that'll be super fun. Or like I said, the Ibanez Prestige. But so I'd say that's what I'm most looking forward to. Looking forward to that Dying Fetus show. That's going to be pretty sweet. And like I said, album release going to be awesome.
When is that? When is that album release coming out?
That is a very, very, very good question. And I would have announced it by now, but I need to, so like I said, just need to finish up mixing and re-record a few bits I'm not too keen of, and then smash it all together. And I'm aiming, I said at the end of August, and so far I'm thinking if it's not going to be by the end of August, it'll be September sometime, 100%.
Sweet. And I didn't pick your brain about your recording process, but I mean, obviously you probably start with the drum beats first.
Yeah.
To record anyway, right? I mean.
Yeah. I actually, so I'll usually start with a riff, and I can write like pretty much an entire song with only the riff and without the drums. Okay. But if I'm stuck, usually what I'll do is I'll program the drums, because I program them all. I use a plugin. And so I'll do the drums, and then if I'm stuck, sometimes because I have a bunch of MIDI packs that I use for inspiration, or I'll edit them because it takes a long time to program drum beats.
Oh man, I know.
Yeah, it's a painful process, but so usually like a drum beat, I'll just like mess around over it, and that'll sometimes pull me out of that. But I'd say as for recording process, 100% of the time starts with some small riff, and then I'm just like, where can I go with this? And then I'll start experimenting. Like in one of my songs, actually, my dad, because he's a big guitar player, he lent me his E-bow. Like his E sustainer for the guitar. So I have a little solo on one of my songs with that, because I was like, oh, that could be neat. So
yeah.
So I mess around with different things. Experimenting is a big one.
So where did you go to take those photos? That's that you use for the photography involved, I guess, for your the cover art.
So that's a good question. So as I've done 2 photo shoots now, and one of them, the first one, which is where I had what I put on my album, my friend, who my best friend, lives right down the street, 2 houses away pretty much. We hang out a lot. So I just said, hey, can we go to the forest, and can you take pictures of me in makeup, a leather jacket with weird corny props? And he was like, hell yeah. So like near the end of my street, there's like a little path. So it's not really the forest, it's just kind of a path that goes into just some little path. So those were taken there. And then my other pictures that were taken inside with like the candelabra, that was all taken in our dining room, actually. So
hey man, if it works, it works.
Exactly.
Gotta make do, Mom.
And, funny story about a candelabra. So there was a point where I'm like, I need a candelabra. It is the most metal, corny, amazing thing ever. So I was looking everywhere. I went to all the little antique shops in my town. And this town, like neighboring town to me, it's about 10 minutes away. They have like this big annual yard sale where like everybody in the entire town has a yard sale. And then me and my stepdad were just driving around, and then I just said, stop the car. There's a candelabra right there and I need it. And so, he stopped, awesome. Pulled over, got it. And the lady that sold it to me, she's like, what are you going to use this for? Like, why? What is your use for this? And I just said, I'm going to take pictures with it. Yeah, so that was a interesting experience, but yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I saw those pictures and I was like, man, dude, he's like all in. He's like submerged himself in the culture. I love it.
Oh, yeah, I got a bullet belt a while ago and some little gauntlets, so yeah, I just love the old cheesy black metal look, like the mutilation.
Immortal. Oh yeah,
yeah. You can't beat it.
Got a really good friend of mine who's in a band called Witch Burial down here. They're from New Orleans, and I'll send you the link to their band once we're done. And they're another ones, man. They go all out. Their bass player Nathan, I mean, he's got gauntlets. He's got the spikes on the shins, like. It looks like a guy you would not want to fuck with, without the damn, without the gear and everything. And so, but it's cool, man. I like how that, it's never went away. People say we're bringing it back. Yeah, it never went away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just can't beat it. There's nothing better than some guy running around in the forest with makeup on and a battle axe.
Yeah. Out of all the, I was gonna play one of your demos, man. One of the songs. If you had your pick, which one you want to go with?
You know what? I think you should play the new one, the Tales from Solitude.
Tales from Solitude. It's really good. 100%. I was listening to that.
Thank you.
That was the last one I listened to. In fact, on the way from a friend's house, man, and I was just jamming it. I was like, dude, you definitely put the time in and the work. It sounds brilliant. Really
that's going to be the first track on the album. It's kind of setting the scene for what's going on, and the artist that did the artwork for the album, I had an image just popped in my head pertaining to the story about the album, and I think that what she did to capture it was amazing. It basically exactly what I pictured, and it's pretty much, it embodies, like, how do I say it? Like, I think album art's a major part of a record. Like 100%.
Most definitely it is.
And I feel like you have to kind of your record has to fit the vibe of the album art, if that makes sense. Like, I saw a comment a while ago on, I was listening to Evil Dead by Death, and I saw a comment and somebody said, like, how this was recorded sounds exactly like it was recorded, how do I word it? It sounds exactly like it was recorded on the place where the album art is or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a weird little stone chamber or something like that. And then I realized, like, like the album art, it plays into it like a lot.
I had a conversation with Caraxid from a Portuguese band called Grievance. You could check that episode out. That was cool. And Caraxid was telling me how he's a huge fan of, like, pictures that doesn't give the audience any rhyme or reason to what the sound, what they're gonna hear. He'll have pictures of castles or like the forest and whatnot. It's very picturesque, and basically, it could look evil. It could look, like bit of fantasy. It can, look very ambient. It's basically left to the audience member's interpretation, the listener, and
that's awesome.
But once you put it on, like, I mean, his music it's just that. It's equal parts of brutal, evil, but a whole lot of beauty in it. But, like,
yeah, that's awesome.
And I'm sure, like, people like yourself and me, like, we could hear that beauty because, we're really open-minded to what black metal music is all about. But, like, someone off the street who doesn't get excited about extreme music, they're like, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
But I totally understand 100%. Your point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I love when artists leave things open to interpretation. Like, it's awesome because then everybody will hear it a different way or something. Like, it's just different for everyone. Like, I know, well, I was learning lyrics for I Am the Black Wizards because I'm doing a cover of it for my live show that I'm going to do. So, and I was learning the lyrics and I'm like, man, these make no sense. So I Googled like the origin of it, and Ishan, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. He said that the lyrics made zero sense, but you still have people chanting "I am them." So there you go. But he said that it was like the bass player wrote it out of his mind, and he said when he looked at it, he said it made no sense, but he thought it was cool. So I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
But I love like interpreting stuff and things like that. It's cool.
So do you going back to the recording process, do you mix and master everything yourself?
So yeah, I do mix everything myself. I've been working on my mixing for sure, because it's pretty pricey to get somebody to mix songs. So I kind of wanted to save that trouble. I'm still thinking of getting somebody to professionally mix it, because like somebody with like 20 years plus experience mixing compared to me, who's had like a year or something like that, like there's going to be a noticeable difference. But
right.
I signed up for this website called Nail the Mix. And basically they have tons of like metal stems that you can download. So like they had Lorna Shore, Amon Amarth, like all the actual stems. And then they'll have the sound engineer like Yen Bogren or somebody like that, and they'll walk you through how they mixed it. So it was a really cool service that I definitely used a lot. But my only complaint with it is that, I mean, obviously all the guys, when they're mixing, they're using like $1,000 software and stuff like that. Right. And then when you try to replicate it with like something cheaper, it just doesn't sound the same. So, but like, yeah, that's about it. But it was pretty insightful. Like just they gave you tips and tricks on what to do and what not to do.
Yeah. Groove 3 is actually a really good website too, man. A lot of, so like, one of my good friends told me about that, and like just about any software or DAW that's around the market, like they have like, you know, instructional like how-tos videos on everything. And that's what kind of got me rolling with just utilizing something like GarageBand or something like that. So I think the next lateral move would be, you know, Logic or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's what I use. I record on Logic. Okay. Yeah, I started on Ableton, but then I realized that it wasn't the best for recording metal.
Yeah.
So then I forced myself to move to Logic, and it was a painful switch, but I'm glad I did it.
Well, shit, I'm probably gonna jump into a Logic pretty soon then.
It's worth it. Yeah, if you were using GarageBand, the switch is so easy.
Oh, sweet.
Like it's pretty much the same, just with some extra buttons and features.
Nice. Well, man, I just want to thank you, dude, for coming on board the podcast, dude, and we'll definitely stay in touch. That way,
thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. Whenever the album is all polished and ready to go, you ready to drop it, dude? We'll feature it for sure. And but before that, I'll definitely give the audience a taste of what you're going with right now. Awesome. And Tales from Solitude. And but thanks again, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Chris. It's been fun hanging, man.
Yeah, it's been awesome talking with you.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, dude, you have a good one over there in Canada. And
thank you.
Whenever you decide to start touring, let a dude know.
I will, for sure.
All right, Chris.
All right.
You have a good one, man.
See you later. Bye. Yeah, you too. Bye.
This is Sammy Pierre Douay, Goathor, and you're listening to Tales from the Rift podcast. And your mother said she's coming home late, if you know what I mean.